Hello and welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 373. I'm Laura, also known as Lola.
I'm Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. It is Tuesday, November something, 28th?
Yeah. Oh, we have to add Patreon on there.
2017. Okay, I'll do that in a sec when you
Okay.
start talking. We are a day late in recording, but nobody really cares that much.
I was up late with the Steelers game. I got 5 hours sleep yesterday, and I got home from taking Pearl to the vet, and she was super needy. She had her heartworm 6-month checkup to make sure she doesn't have heartworms, and she's good. No heartworms.
Pearl's the dog, by the way.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think humans get heartworms.
I don't think so.
No,
They get other kinds of disgusting worms, but
heartworms are spread by mosquitoes, so it's not like we do anything to prevent that from, if a mosquito bites you, you don't get heartworms. I think it's an only, cat dog thing.
it doesn't cross the species line.
I think that's it.
Apparently when it crosses the species line, that's when bad things happen.
Wow.
I downloaded a new paranormal book to read.
What is it?
And it turned into a zombie book within 10 pages. And I was like, I don't want to read a zombie book. So I didn't.
End of story. The end. Did you not know it was going zombies?
No, it does. Nothing in the title says that.
In the title or the description?
Or in the description, sorry. Or at least I don't think it did.
And you didn't do the
It was an Amazon Kindle Unlimited book.
Oh, okay. So
I
you
didn't pay
do
for
a preview.
it. No.
Okay.
But yeah, if it's an author I don't know and trust, then I always do that. Read the first chapter for free or whatever.
I thought I hit the read the first chapter for free and I just bought a book.
Whoops.
It'll be all right. It's by the same person who did the llama sex ring. But this is a serious werewolf book.
The llama sex ring.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do, but I don't. I feel like that title makes it sound like llamas are being abducted and sold into sex slavery.
Uh-huh.
That's not what happened in the book, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, llamas were sold as...
They transformed using magic the women into llamas so they could transport them.
But they didn't engage in coitus as llamas.
No, not that I'm aware. No.
How did we get off track 2 minutes into this?
Well, how do we not get off track faster is the real question.
Okay, so...
it's an R.J. Blaine book. I think that's the author's name.
I don't know that one.
Obviously, it was so thrilling that I want to keep up with it. We talked about it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I do remember talking about that book because the cover was funny, but I
can't believe you haven't read it yet. It's on your Kindle.
I can't believe that hasn't jumped to the top of my list.
It's called Hoofing It or something.
Yeah. I think we just lost 5% of our viewership.
Well, there's that.
Okay, why don't you talk about your works in progress while I type Patreon down
stuff? So I am only knitting on one thing because I'm a boring individual, but also because I have to have these done by Thursday night, and it is Tuesday, and I am on the first repeat. So these are, but I'm on the first repeat of the second sock.
Yeah.
I think this is the closest that I have been to not completing a pair this year.
But you want to know what's funny? 2 weeks ago, we were sitting and eating at Huey's.
Uh-huh.
And she was like, I feel like these are going so fast.
Yeah, that was true. That statement was made. It was a week and a half ago. No, and we went for Mexican, didn't we?
I don't know. We do both frequently. So.
Well, that's true. Alright, so here's the first one. And I finished it last night. I got some good knitting time during the Steelers game. So what I learned is one repeat. So from a red to a red stripe takes me around an hour and a half. So to do 2 is around 3 hours. And I have 7 red stripes to do on the sock. So I got some time to go in. But I have 1 red stripe done already on this one. This is the first stripe. So I have 1 repeat almost done. And this is your mean one. Mr. Grinch. Mm-hmm. It is a Desert Vista Dye Works colorway. And I am doing Wendy Johnson's Toe Up Socks heel gusset version. And so the first one is done, and I'm slowly getting the second one rocking and rolling, and it is in my pigeon bag, which got so many compliments at NCTE, it was ridiculous. It's an Amy Beth pigeon bag.
Is the styling of the pigeon the same as the book?
No, not even close, but people like pigeons.
They just like the bag. Okay.
The flying rats of the skies. So that is the first thing and only thing that I'm working on. There you go. The end. And I'm doing that on size zeros. And they are...
The Cowgoo lace.
Cowgoo, like the interchangeable mini set. Twist minis? It sounds like I made it up, but it might be the actual name.
I have a couple things on the needles.
Yay! Those are socks.
These are socks, and
we should race.
I'm
gonna start knitting really, really fast.
This is sock number 1, so I wouldn't worry.
We're not racing.
So this is Simply Sock Yarns post self-striping. It's the Cordell base, Cordell nylon base.
So you picked Simply Sock Company for next month's.
Oh, did I?
Self-striping. Mini knit along. Yes, you did. You picked that one and Turtle Pearl.
Well, I'm doing Turtle Pearl, so I don't really care what anybody else does.
And done.
Yeah, it could have been Turtle Pearl or whatever the hell you want. I don't care.
Well, that's pretty much the whole basis.
So last week I had just finished the gusset, or just finished the heel flap and turn. I really haven't gotten very far on this because I haven't focused on it. I knit on this when I go to Mexican for work on lunch. I know words. When I go to Mexican for lunch when I'm at work, when I'm physically there.
How often do you get a Mexican at work?
Maybe about once a week.
Okay.
But it takes like 15 minutes to get there, and my coworker drives because he likes to drive.
His Mustang? No, it's not a Mustang.
It's a man car. It's a Dodge
Charger,
I think. Yeah, or I don't know. It's a sporty 4-door car. I don't know why he needs to try to make a statement about his manhood. He's got 5 kids. Clearly your man parts work just fine. Let's see. So that's the one thing that I'm working on. So I still have a bunch left in the ball because...
Yeah, and that works for this month's Christmas self-striping.
Well, yeah, for our little informal self-striping. We're going to do an informal one for the group starting in January. This is just the one.
And I get to pick first, because I haven't picked yet.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I'm the last one to go.
Okay. Do you know what you're going to pick?
Vesper. And Query, maybe?
Query's good.
Yeah.
I would like Query.
Well, okay. Well, there we go. Vesper and Query. Discussion done.
Yeah. So I'm knitting mine on 2.25 millimeter, which is a US size 1. And then I was all excited because I'm working on the Shisui shrug. I couldn't remember where the sh was at the end or the beginning. And it is...
You want to show what it looks like?
Yeah. A big swingy... It's like a triangular shawl, but with sleeves.
Cajun Girl just bought 3 of her patterns based on you showing that one.
Oh, really?
Well, they're on sale with the indie...
Yeah, the gift along.
Yeah.
Several patterns that I bought within the last month were in the indie gift along. I need to add that. We need to add that at the bottom of the show notes because that's something that's cool.
I don't know when it ends.
I feel like it's still got several days to go.
Okay.
But I'll look it up when you're talking about your spinning or something.
And when you're doing the Patreon thing at the same time. I've finished objects, so you can do it then.
So this is a brioche and garter 2-color garment with a contrasting color I-cord bind off for the bottom. And I got the setup rows done. The beginning is super weird and fiddly. I felt like it was, but Suzanne, the designer, has got a video in both, I think, German and English that shows you exactly what to do.
I just want that in plain garter, I think.
You could always do that. But
I feel like she probably has that.
I finished, so there's this one big section here, and it's got 12 rows, and 8 of those rows you repeat 15 times. And then after that, there's a little thing that says sleeve increases. And I thought, oh, I'll just get to that point, and then I'll be able to take the sleeves off, and, you know, it'll be less, you know, because when you put your sleeves off on waist yarn. I feel like
you're building up to that being a lie.
That is a lie. Because if I actually read the pattern instead of just assuming it, I would understand that sleeve increases mean this is where you start increasing for the sleeves, not this is where you separate for the sleeves, because it's hard to see in these pictures, but the sleeve doesn't start till like the elbow. Like,
it's like a boxy.
Yeah, because it's because it's so much like a triangle shawl. You're increasing out, and this part here, which is like elbow to wrist, is all like a rib or a brioche rib. So it's kind of like an open, flowy, dolman-y sort of sleeve there. So I've got a long way. I've got another, let's see, that's 10, that's, each row is actually 2 rows, so keeping that in mind, that's 16, 5 to 8, that's 4, that's 8 times 8, 64, so I've got like 80 more rows to go before I separate the sleeves.
And you're really not losing any stitches because you hadn't started increasing for the sleeves.
It's only going to grow.
Pudding.
And it's not like I'm not enjoying it, because I am. I'm finally in a rhythm where, like, I don't have to look at every row. I don't have to look to see, okay, what am I doing? Like, it's I say that. It's finally at a point where it's making sense, and now it's changing. So I'm using 2 different Leading Men Fiber Arts colorways.
It looks like you've gotten rid of quite a bit of yarn, though.
This is the Great Sweater Debate, and this is Minty Fresh. And I think these are both on their Showstopper base.
Is that the 500 yarn one?
No. This is 463 yards, and it's merino nylon superwash.
Gotcha.
So
there are the ones like a BFL, I think.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. It's 100% BFL, and it's like 600 and something yards. It's a really heavy yardage. Good price. So I'm using those 2 colors. I've got 1 more skein of each, and it's already, so I think I'm using a 6. I'm trying to read what's on the cable. Whatever the pattern says, I went up 1 size. So maybe a 7. And this is what's considered the right side. This lighter side.
Yeah.
Because it says that using the light as the main and the dark as sort of the background color is what generally ends up looking best for brioche. So it's going to be basically reversible, so it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm. It will once you weave in your ends, though, probably.
Yeah. So
decide.
That's the giant middle part, and this is the side section. And anyway, it's kind of hard to see because I have it on a small circumference needle, but I mean, I am enjoying it. I can't tell you how many times I've had to rip back like 4 rows because I've found problems that I didn't see, and there's some that I'm flat out not going to go back and fix. Trying to find, so there's like this here where I carried the yarn the wrong way. Here,
you can probably just duplicate stitch over that.
That yarn crosses over. Totally not going to fix that. There's another one of those somewhere. I'm just not going to fix it.
I'll just duplicate stitch over them. So
I just don't care enough.
Oh, well, that's fun too. I'm not the boss of you.
Dang right. So, I mean, I'm really enjoying knitting it. Hopefully, I'll figure out the increases for the sleeves pretty easily. It looks like just 2 sets of increases per section versus the 1 set that was in the other, but I actually have to take some time and sit down and read them, so that maybe I won't have to rip back like a 7th time. But yeah, that's it. That's all that I'm really working on right now. And I do have finished object again.
You do?
I finished these again. So when I went to put these on,
I was just thinking, man, I thought you'd finished those before.
Yeah, when I went to put these on the blockers like 2 episodes ago, I found that while we were recording, I found that one of them was an entire repeat shorter than it should have been.
And you couldn't get on the blocker. That was funny.
So Laura and I were watching The Great Home Cooking Show or something. It's on Netflix. It's a new
British baking, not baking, family cooking, something like that. The family cooking
showdown or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Something.
It's on Netflix and it's a relatively new thing, and it's got Nadia from
Great British
Bake Off on it,
and she's the best part about it.
I agree with that.
Like host and
I feel like the judges do not have enough personality. You know,
I feel like she would be a good judge, probably.
You know, like Paul Hollywood and Mary Berry both have interesting enough personalities that even having not grown up with them as you know, like,
icons.
Yeah, then I still really enjoyed it. And
Mary Berry, like, she would laugh like when Sue and Mel would do jokes and stuff, like. And Sue and Mel were, like, professional comedians, too. So
yeah, they met at Cambridge in, like, college.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, anyway, it's different, and it's a lot of meat cooking, which I'm, like, meh about.
Although, they do have aubergine, which is eggplant, in case you're wondering, on every freaking entree, I think. But, anyway, I did rip these back and finish them. Nothing super exciting about them, but it is another pair of socks for me. So
yay! How full is your sock drawer?
You say that like I actually fold and put away socks. That's so cute.
Well, I do usually, or they just stay on the octopus in my bathroom until I have one of the IKEA octopus hanging clippies for socks,
like a laundry hanger thing.
Yeah, it looks like an octopus.
What was I doing? Oh, Patreon. Okay, so I have finished things and spinning.
Wow. And spinning because I was off for a week.
That's right.
And I wanted to finish the spinning for Patreon. So, although it still needs its soak and wash. The first thing that I finished, and I need to weave in the ends and soak this and block it, is a cowl. It's an Amba O'Brien pattern.
It is Astra,
and it's not revolutionary. Like, this pattern's been done before, but it is double thickness because you're slipping stitches.
There are 2 colors in there.
There are 2 colors. You can see it better there. There's a purpley pink and a gray, and they're very similar, and I kind of did that on purpose. One is hand-spun, so the purpley pink is my hand-spun, and it is out of Knit Spin Farm, which I did not bring with me. And it is some woolen spun that I did during Tour de Fleece. And then the gray is fern fibers. And I wish they were still in business because I really loved working with this yarn. And it is a local naturally dyed yarn. This one's undyed, but they did a lot of naturally dyed yarns. And this is 62% Suffolk from Buttercup.
Oh.
And then it's 38% alpaca from Superman. And it's with a bat, and it's super like cozy and warm, and it's like double thickness. So I just need to weave in the ends and block it. And then I have enough to do a matching hat as well. There are mistakes in here, but because they're so similar, it's really hard to tell, which I kind of love. So that worked out perfect for that. This is like the twisted rib show because everything I seemed to knit this past week had twisted rib. Yeah,
she went to wind some yarn after she spent like an hour looking at patterns to knit a hat, and she finally picked one that she wanted, and she was winding the yarn, and she wanted to know what needle size she needed. So I pulled her computer over, and I'm looking, I'm like, okay, you need this size. And she's like, as long as it doesn't have 2 inches of twisted ribbing, I'm fine. And I was like, maybe you should pick another pattern.
So the hat that I knit is, I always do Curious Handmade, Helen Stewart, her knit vent.
Mm-hmm.
And I always end up knitting at least one pattern out of it. And they make great gifts. And this also needs to be blocked, but it's the...
Tchaikovsky.
There we go. The person who wrote the Nutcracker suite. That hat. And so it's got 2 inches of twisted rib, 18 rows to be exact. And then it's got a pattern where it's got little blips of pearls every once in a while. And this is Hedgehog DK in the truffle colorway, I think. And I'm hoping it blocks a little bit longer because I like my hats a little bit slouchy. And I also ordered some like alpaca, a bright pink alpaca pom-pom to go on the top. So this is a Christmas present for someone else. But I want it a little bit more slouchy, I think. It also has pretty rapid decreases at the top. Like those decreases happen pretty quickly. So it's cute. I love the colors of the hedgehog especially. It was knit on size 4s and size 6s. And the cowl was knit on size 5s maybe? So...
Now, the pattern to the pearls, the random pearls, is it random or is there like...
No. There's an actual pattern.
Okay.
But if
wondered,
I told you, I would basically be
No,
giving
I just
the whole
wondered
pattern.
if there was like, you know, how some...
like you're playing
if they have a meaning
yeah.
or like, or like the constellation, what is that one, Celesterium, where the beads they're actually in a pattern.
Yeah, no, there's a pattern, but it occurs on like a regular interval. Offset interval.
That's kind of like the sequence knitting in the Mason-Dixon Field Guide.
Yeah, we need to review that new one.
Yeah.
We just got the new Mason-Dixon Field Guide was gifted to us, so that's exciting. We need to get back on book reviews. So I'm going to block this, and I'm hoping, because it is superwash, it'll grow a little bit, so it'll slouch out a little bit without losing the shape of the ribbing. And then the last thing I have was in on size 0s. And they are the Lollipop yarn socks. So I finished these heels during the Steelers game on Sunday, when I probably should have been working on my DVD socks. But they're done. I need to try them on. I'm hoping they're a little bit long for me so that they will work for my brother-in-law, but if they don't, then they always have a home with me. So and these need blocked as well.
I feel like your brother-in-law needs like
his own Instagram.
Well, that, but also ridiculous fluffy bunny flippers.
Those would be fun.
That's her. There's no way that's happening.
Nah, I'm not knitting them. I don't know that he's like a hand knit slippers if he would enjoy that. Beck enjoys that. Like I've knit slippers for her before, and she was actually, Beck's my sister, she was crocheting slippers the other day and not getting them quite right because crochet's evil.
I wouldn't go that far. It's got an entirely different structure than knitting, but...
Yeah. An evil structure. No, don't send me hate mail about my hatred of crochet. We agree to not get along. It's a mutual dislike. Anyway, so socks. Yay! So I got 3 Christmas presents knit.
That's awesome, dude.
This past week.
How many do you have to go?
A lot.
Okay.
More than 3.
Fair enough.
But, you know, look at how this kind of, like,
turned out
muted
pretty.
out. Yeah. So, this is my spinning. This is Falkland from Into the World. And I did a 3-ply, and it, like, totally muted it down a little bit. It still needs its bath. But this is Into the World in the Tinkerbell's Unmentionable colorway. It was a 3-ply. And I just split it randomly. And it looks like it's got a lot of white to it, but really it's a light yellow. And it's got a lot of bright contrast to it. So there's blues and light blues and yellow, gold, and lighter yellow. And it's got a lot going on. I'm excited to see how it comes out after the soak. This is 210 yards of a 3-ply. It's like a worsted weight. It was a lot of work for a worsted weight.
I can see
Those
that.
3-plies. They'll kill ya. But I think it's really, really pretty.
Yeah, I like it.
And I have 8 other ounces of it, so we're good.
I was just thinking maybe I'll use that in my combo sweater spin.
Oh, that would be a good one. That yellow can be a little bit I don't know how you feel about yellow. For me, it's not, like, that is not a super flattering color.
As long as that's not the majority of it, it's usually alright.
Yeah, and you can put it someplace where it's not super
like
apparent.
elbows or...
Yeah, or bottom. Where it's not up to your face. And I'm using one of Beck Gussler's, that's my sister, one of her tags. Because it is going in the water, and I wanted a tag that could go in the water. And I need to buy new Sharpies, because mine are getting a little bit...
Yeah, you do.
A little bit running out. So 210 yards. So, yeah, that's what I have finished. So I finished 4 things this week. I feel pretty good about that. And I used up some Hand-spun. And I created more Hand-spun. I did organize my Hand-spun. I did an Instagram live post about it. Leslie walked in on the tail end of it. She didn't get to see the first 2 bins. I have 4 bins of Hand-spun. So now it's organized by weight, approximately.
Mm-hmm.
So now Jess and I have agreed this coming year to knit more. I've been knitting around 1 thing a month with my Hand-spun. But to knit a little bit more with Hand-spun. I'm not going to do the DVD club next year. Not that I don't love Susan, because I totally do. But I have a lot of sock yarn by a lot of other people as well.
That's fair.
That I want to use. And maybe I'll go back in 2019 if she's still doing it. And,
plus, it's not like that means you can't knit with Desert Vista
next year. I'm totally going to knit with Desert Vista next year. But it's not going to be the sole yarn that I tend to knit. So I think I've only knit like 4 pairs of socks this year out of non-Desert Vista Dye Works yarn.
Yeah.
And this is my 11th pair.
And how many have you bought?
Sock yarn skeins? A lot. More than 4. The answer is more than 4.
Yeah, I'm not judging because I have 2, but...
Yeah. Our stashes are getting a little bit...
I've got to get your mom to teach me how to warp that loom from front to back because it is such a pain to warp it from back to front.
Yeah, and you should come over and help me warp my
I'll do
clip.
that.
We'll cut off what's on there from SSK 3 years ago and actually warp that and get that.
You need to pick what you want warped on it.
Oh, I can do that in like 5 seconds.
Oh,
and I want to do Hand-spun for the wefts.
You can do Hand-spun for the warp too, as long as it's not under like crazy tension, and as long as it's more than a single ply. And you can do it with a single ply. You just there's more risk of breakage. I can do my cable
ply, that green cable ply that I showed you.
You can do whatever you want.
You
need good yardage though if you want any like a wide whatever.
I don't know that I like wide whatever's.
What do you want to make on your?
Maybe a scarf.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't like wide.
You don't need a ton.
We'll see.
Okay.
Placemats. Maybe I should warp the little placemat. You have that loom. The knit pearl.
Yeah, you can take it with you.
I don't know that I want to take it with me today.
Let's not get crazy.
Yeah, let's not. There's enough.
We're just talking about things. We're not actually doing things.
There's enough stuff at my house.
I know.
Your husband needs to come install my doorbell and uninstall my
and your Nest.
Oh yeah, my doorbell's not here yet. He needs to install my Nest. You know what I'm getting for Christmas? House stuff.
Yeah. Getting old sucks.
So, and it's been that way for like 3 years, so I don't know why I think it's going to change. So my parents got me a Ring doorbell, which is a video doorbell. So when someone comes up to my door, even if they don't ring the doorbell, it's motion censored. And I think that will be super useful because I don't have the high-tech security that Leslie has.
We don't have that here. We have loud-ass dogs. That's our high-tech security.
Yeah, well, you have cameras everywhere.
Well, yeah.
So this will be like a camera type situation for me. And then I got a Nest thermostat. So I used the money that I earned working at Disney to buy a Nest thermostat and a dishwasher. Yay. So, because my dishwasher has died. And Michael's going to install the new one, which it takes a month to get here.
But it's the one you want.
But it's the one I want.
And it's not like you do a ton of dishes.
No, that's true. That's when Leslie comes over.
Yeah.
I finished your bread that you made me. It was delicious.
Oh,
I put butter on top of it and warmed it up, and it was really good because it got a little dry because it was old. Or not old, but...
Yeah, I made it on Thanksgiving.
And I ate it yesterday. So
I've got some banana cinnamon muffins I want to make.
Oh, I thought you were saying downstairs, and I was like, let's go.
No.
You did that cheese thing.
I did, but they didn't turn out quite like I wanted. I mean, they're okay, but there's no, like, melding of flavors. It's just bread with cheese inside. Like, there's no... It's okay.
Gotcha.
But I couldn't find cinnamon baking chips anywhere. I've been to 3 Krogers.
I didn't know that cinnamon baking chips were a thing.
And 2 Walmarts, yeah.
Can you order them on Amazon?
You can, but they cost more, and you end up with a big... Like, around this time of year, they're harder because people are using it in their holiday baking.
Yeah.
But I figured there are smart people on the internet who probably know how to make baking chips. So that's what I did.
Oh.
I made baking chips. Well, they're not really chips. They're like chunks, but you do this mixture where it's like sugar and cinnamon, and they use corn syrup, but I use honey and a couple of other ingredients, and you mash it together, and then you put it out,
lay it on a tray,
and bake it for like 30 minutes, and then you cut it into pieces, and that's your cinnamon chips.
Huh.
And so there's like no preservatives.
But you
and stuff in it.
That's awesome. You like cherry chips too, but
I do.
you can't do it that way.
I don't know. There may be ways to do that, but I haven't looked that up.
I'll have to look for... I like your cherry chip cookies.
I do too. But those I usually do. I get those from Log Cabin something. I'll have to look that up.
I feel like there used to be a baking store in South Haven.
Off of State Line Road. Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we've talked about food for a while.
Okay.
Hand-spun, I do want to mention that we've talked briefly about combo spins before, but it is something I want to do next year.
So are we going to do a spin-along?
I would like to if there's enough interest, but basically it's where you take between 5 and 8 braids of fiber from different dyers, different types of fiber, whatever, but all sort of in the same general color family. Mm-hmm. And you split them, and then you spin them, like, they're all mixed up, and you spin them.
And there was a spin-off article about that.
There
correct?
is, yeah. Okay. And I'll, if there's enough interest, then I'll talk more about it next week, but it is something I want to do next year.
I have my spinning advent calendar that I'm going to start on Friday.
So you're going to try to spin it each day?
Yeah, it's like 2 grams.
Oh, okay.
It's like very small.
Okay, that's cool.
So.
And then ply it with something?
I might just do samples because it's all different breeds.
Oh, okay.
That I don't typically. It's from England. I can't remember where I got it from now, but I think there's a card that came with it.
Yeah, we can talk about it next week.
Yeah,
when you show
and I have a samples. David's Tea Advent, and I also have an Opal Advent calendar. 3 Advent calendars. No, wait, I'm not gonna get through the Opal, but I'm gonna, try.
Yeah, you could warp with Opal.
Oh, I could.
That would give you some really weird, fun results.
It might. I could weft with Opal and do like a solid color warp.
Yeah.
It could be fun. It would be very patchworky.
Yeah. You could do a bunch of them and then seam it, or give it to your friend to seam together and make a blanket.
Ooh, that could be fun. And I still have the majority of last year's Opal too. Yeah. That could be super fun. We'll see.
Okay, so reading. Books. I read the 3rd in the Tales from Verania, which starts with a lightning struck heart.
Yeah.
It is fantasy, I guess. It does have a male-male romance aspect.
I was going to say, there's male-male romance.
Yeah. Most of it's talk. There's very little actual, like, explicit stuff. That's not a complaint because it's written by T.J. Klune, and the 3rd one just came out, and I read it and cried. It was really good, but there is a sad part in it, which I'm not going to tell you, even though you're looking at me like, tell me what it is so I won't be sad. And then the 4th one, the last one in the series, comes out.
Oh, there's a 4th one.
Comes out in the spring. It ends on a cliffhanger.
Oh.
So if that bothers you, then you just need to wait.
Yeah, I might wait.
But it is.
We'll see.
It is.
We'll see
really
how much
good.
other reading I get through in the meantime.
I was actually motivated enough to send the author a note and say, "Look, I just read this book and it's really good, and thank you for writing it because I know you write some weird stuff, but this particular weird stuff is my favorite.
Aww. Did you get a response?
No, but I just wrote him yesterday. So.
That's nice.
Let's see. I did finish listening to "We Are Never Meeting in Real Life" by Samantha Irby. And after I finished it, I got a text from Laura who was like, "You should check out this book." And it was a picture of "We Are Never Meeting in Real Life." And I was like, dude, I talked about that 2 days ago on the show.
And I was like, I need to listen better when you speak.
We are actually friends, in case anybody wonders. Because Laura got a hilarious question from one of our viewers. About whether we're actually friends. Believe it or not, we are.
Unfortunately or fortunately. I don't know where we're going with that.
And I started a new audiobook called "This Is Just My Face, Try Not to Stare" by Gabourey Sidibe. I said her name right, and I know I said her name right because
she says it.
She says it in the book. She self-narrates. This is the lady who plays the title character in Precious. And she's also on a show called Empire, apparently.
Oh.
And she was on American Horror Story.
The only thing I know about Empire is when Bob, the drag queen, that season of RuPaul's Drag Race, did the spoof
the cameo
of it.
Or whatever?
No, they did a spoof of it.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about it. But I might look it up.
It seems very soap opera-y
Okay.
from the itty-bitty bit that I saw. It's like Music Family Empire.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll look it up. But I like her a lot. She's got some interesting perspectives on things. And let's see, I'm only about maybe half through that book because when I had started it and then I went back on Audible to look for something, then I realized that the second book in that TJ Klune series is now an audiobook. So have I read it twice?
I got that
yes.
email. Yeah.
But guess what? I also bought it on audiobook and I'm listening to it now. So that's what I've been listening to and reading.
I've been reading 2 things for work. I started reading Piecing Me Together by Renee Watson. She is a Portland author. Portland,
Maine or Washington?
Oregon.
Oregon.
But I don't know that there's a Portland, Washington.
You're right.
But Portland,
I was just
Oregon
thinking
is
up there or up
Washington,
there.
Yeah. And she talks a lot about her first book that I read was a lot about when communities get revitalized and the people who have been living there for a long time have kind of been pushed out.
Like the gentrification?
Yes, there you go. That's the word that I'm looking for. And in this book, it is about a girl who is a person of color, and she goes to a private Catholic school, and she's one of the few people of color that goes to that school, and she's there on a full ride scholarship. And it's really, I like how she the main character talks about language a lot. And at one point she's like, yes, when I was a freshman I was sitting in this English class and the teacher was talking about invisible people and what invisible people are in your life. And all the other girls were talking about, you know, my housekeeper, my maid, my, the people who, like, take care of the gardens. Mm-hmm. Those are all invisible people. And she's like, well, my mom's a housekeeper, basically. She's a maid. So I am one of those invisible people, according to these girls. And, like, she can't do things like afford even to buy lunch, and they're all going out for lunch.
Right.
And, she's really, really focused. She gets great grades, and she's really focused on, she wants to go abroad, overseas, and she's been taking Spanish for several years. And she's a junior, and it is the time for that opportunity where she could get a scholarship to go abroad for a semester abroad. And she goes to the guidance office, and she gets called in, and she thinks it's for that, and she's super excited. And what they've done is they've paired her with a mentor. And it's another person who's graduated from the school who happens to be a person of color. So then she's in the situation where she's being mentored, and she doesn't feel like she needs a mentor. And they come, even because they're people of color, they come from very different backgrounds, but they've been paired together because they are people of color. And so it talks about that situation and the awkwardness a little bit of that. And that's how far I am so far. And it's really, really interesting. And like I said, the author talks about a lot about language that's used.
Yeah.
So I'm really into that right now. Like, I love it when authors talk about language and how we use language in different ways. So and so far no cuss words. I'm actually reading it to see if it's appropriate for our summer reading list. Mm-hmm. So far it's been pretty clean. It is like a upper middle school type read, just because the main character is in high school. And her uncle's not in a great situation. And then I just finished a nonfiction title. It's called In the Shadow of Liberty, which is about 4 presidents of the United States that used enslaved labor in their households. And it looks specifically at 5 of those people who were enslaved. Oh. So it's really, really an interesting read. If you like history at all, like I was telling my kids today, I've been book talking it to the kids. Like, my kids are always like, history is so boring. And I was like, well, do you ever sit around and listen to your aunties and uncles and grandparents tell stories? That's what history is. Yeah. It's just people's stories. And in this case, it's 5 stories of 5 people who were enslaved. And the only reason why we know their name is they were enslaved by presidents of the United States who kept records. And those records were kept because they were presidents of the United States. But there were millions of other people who have become nameless in history. Right. So it's really, really an interesting read. And then that author discusses the difference between using the term enslaved versus slave, which is really an interesting perspective. And Jacqueline Woodson, who's the author of Brown Girl Dreaming, which is a novel in verse. It's a memoir in verse. She was talking about that in a piece at
I was just thinking when you said that, like, the word slave,
it makes it like that is the only aspect of that person's
right,
life.
and
it defines that person
definitely has a more, like,
this was done to them.
It's a more deliberate feeling, like,
and it's a verb,
yeah,
versus a noun. So anyway, the way we use language, yeah, I hadn't thought about it till this book. Also, George Washington, the whole wooden teeth thing, totally false. And he actually had some of the teeth pulled out of some of his enslaved people's mouths to have put into his own mouth.
Oh my God!
So, whether it was as dentures or crowns, or he paid them money, but at that point, they didn't really, it's not like you have a choice.
Right.
And they got one pair of shoes, one item of clothing per year, and so a lot of enslaved people would hunt or trap and sell stuff to make a little bit of money so that they could buy items like food besides porridge, or whatever they were given, leftovers, scraps to eat. And one of the things the author talks about is like different enslaved people had different experiences.
Well, so sure, but they were...
Like, there's a difference between being a valet and being a field hand.
And I can appreciate that difference, but in the end, they're still...
Oh, yeah, they're still enslaved, but, yeah.
Anyhow, that sounds interesting. Maybe I'll read that one.
It's really interesting. I finished it, but there's a wait list at my school.
Oh, okay.
So, just sorry, because I've been book talking.
I'll look it up and
ask it's a YA book.
From my library, then.
Yeah, Kobe might have it at his library.
He can't be trusted with things, though.
Well, you could trust him to bring it home to you. Well, I don't know. But Kobe might like to read it, too. Kobe's excited about algebra.
Yeah. He also...
Kobe is Leslie's 14-year-old son. Soon to be 15.
Yesterday, I was up getting ready to leave for work, and it was the same time as he gets ready to go to the bus stop. And he says, Mom, where's my... And this was after being off for a week for Thanksgiving. Mom, where's my permission slip? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. And he was like, I put it on your bed last week. And I'm like...
The bed that all the animals sleep in.
Yeah, it's like the kitchen at my house. It's where everybody lives. Like, everybody... We hang out and talk on that bed. Like, that's... And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm looking under the bed. I'm looking, and Michael's still asleep, snoring his brain out. And, you know, I'm bothering Buffy, making sure it didn't somehow fall into her kennel. And I'm like, baby, I don't know where it is. Well, you were supposed to sign it. I don't understand how I can sign something I've never seen.
Did he find it?
No.
Oh.
I have no idea what
was it for?
The ability to watch some, like, Miracle of Life video and DVD in biology.
Have you watched that?
No.
Oh. We had to watch that in the 90s when I went to school.
But I sent his teacher an email, and I was like, I have no idea where this thing is, but anything that you can show him, we've already talked about, so feel free. But they still haven't watched it. Apparently it's like after their review for state testing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes kids need a brain break before they take that state test.
Yeah. So.
Or after the state test. At that point, you're pretty much done.
So, our summer event, SSK, Super Summer Knit Together, which is in July, the lottery entries are open for that until December the 3rd. They close on the 4th, so you have all day on the 3rd to get your entries in, and then on Monday the 4th, that's when I'll close them. And then sometime that week, we'll be pulling names. We're going to do it as quickly as possible, because we know that, you know, people who get selected will need time to actually come up with money to, you know, pay for the event. And
it is around the holidays.
Yeah, it is around the holidays, so that adds...
But if you get in, you could ask for money towards that.
You could,
I suppose.
It'll only be the deposit that's due right away, and that's $125. And right away means within like 45 days of being accepted. So anyhow, we will send you out a notification whether you get selected or don't get selected, and if you don't get selected, you're automatically put on the wait list unless you specifically tell us, I'm not interested in being on the wait list, and that's totally fine.
Yep.
But that will happen hopefully next week. But the week after, at the absolute latest. I go on call next week, so it just depends on how crazy it is.
Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah. Not until Thursday, though, so if we get it done before Thursday, we should be fine.
Oh, yeah. I have, on Thursdays, starting this Thursday, robotics CEU and coding.
That'll be fun for you.
I'm excited about it.
What kind of coding is it?
I have no idea. My tech person was like, hey, I'm doing this thing on coding and robotics. I think it's going to be like Lego Mindstorms.
Oh, okay. That's a
you
fun
should do
one
it.
To get. No.
No, not you. She was just telling me.
Like, go to school and I don't have to? No.
I was like, okay. Because I refreshed my license last year, and I'm probably going to start a master's program. So do I really need it? No, but I'll do it anyways.
So we do have drawings for Patreon. Do you have Hand-spun to give away?
I do. That Hand-spun I just spun.
Oh, the TheKnitGirll's Unmentionables.
Yes. So that's what that's going to be.
I think for the yarn prize.
I think you and I got the same colorway of Old Rusted Share.
This month, I think we're actually going to do the bag from Rick of Whimsy Stitches.
And then if you'd rather have yarn, we can probably work that out.
Know. I've been kind of holding on to this just because I think it's a cool prize, and I actually need one of these bags. So that'll be something to look forward to next time I find him at a market.
Yeah.
But Rick of Whimsy Stitches lives in Louisiana, and he makes all his bags. He's got all kinds of
He had a cool winter
fun
kit
stuff.
going on, yeah. He matches up with dyers every once in a while, and they do kits.
So this is a flat bottom bucket bag.
That's clear, which is super helpful if you're trying to remember what you have in bags.
Yes.
And it's got a drawstring and also
a separate, like,
handle.
what do you call these?
Handle?
Like...
Wristlet?
Wristlet, yeah.
And his is actually large enough that it can go around your wrist. I've gotten those before, and they are too small for my wrist.
So this will go to our yarn level winner. So let me pull this up. Can you do a random number for me?
I can.
So this is for anyone who donates $2.50 or more, or $2.50 per episode. And we need a number between 67
1 second.
and 124.
67 and 124?
Yes, ma'am.
110.
110 is Marie Larson, who lives in South Australia.
Oh, fun.
So that is going to be awesome. It's going to go all the way. I wonder if it's the first time Rick's stuff has gone to Australia.
That's fun.
So I'm going to write, this is Rick's bag. So
And
congratulations
then, like we said,
to Marie.
if you'd rather have yarn, we can make
that's
that happen.
totally fine. And in fact, Marie, since you're in South Australia and it's probably a royal pain to get specific dyers, maybe if there's a specific dyer that you're looking for, hit me up. Just message me. It's youdontcallmeless@gmail.com.
Or you can have the bag.
Or you can have the bag.
Whatever, because
Totally
the
up to
bag's
you.
pretty awesome. But I know some people get too many bags.
Yeah. So this is for, the next is Laura's Hand-spun in Tinkerbell's Unmentionables. This is a Falkland and it's 210 yards of a 3-ply. And that's for our $3 level donators. And that's from number 17 all the way up to number 65.
33.
33 is Mackenzie Workman. Let me
Awesome.
make this bigger. In Portland, Oregon.
Good to know.
So Mackenzie, I'll get this sent out to you. I actually am getting a bunch of stuff together as it is to ship, so I'll get this sent out to you in the next week or so. You might get it before you even know you're a winner.
Who knows?
That'll be fun. And a genuine thank you. We haven't mentioned it in a while, but to those who support us on Patreon,
Yes.
we do sincerely appreciate it. And if there are perks that you'd like to see happen, just message us and let us know.
We did record 3 wheel reviews this past week,
Yes.
and Leslie's working on getting those edited.
Yeah, I actually have some time off work coming soon, so hopefully I'll be able to dedicate
And
some
then
time.
we'll have 9 more to do.
Is that all? And the last thing on our list is Leslie's first holiday gift. So apparently I have a present.
You do! So what I decided to do for your holidays, that needs a wash, just so you know, is I decided to get you a gift every time we record.
I don't want to spit anything. Okay. If you were going to make me laugh, I didn't want to spit anything in there.
I decided to get you a gift every time we record up until Christmas. So you get 4 gifts. Are you ready?
Awesome. Are any of them Channing Tatum?
No, but they might be something our viewers like too. So that's why we're doing it on air.
Okay.
And I don't wrap things because I feel like it's a waste of time, money, resources.
Well, then I can't, like, gather my fake happy face.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I got sleep pants.
You did.
Yay.
So Old Navy has flannel, like sleep pants,
Yeah.
pajama pants that have sheep on them. They also have ones with llamas.
I got some sheep pants for all of my Rhinebeck housemates one year.
Uh-huh.
Some like teal ones, and they were the same type, like this old, and I still have them. I still wear them.
There you go.
So awesome! Thank you.
I like them because you can buy tall sleep pants for tall people. Also, Mama Linneman got a pair.
I don't need tall ones, but
No, I did not get you tall.
thank you.
You're welcome. I thought they were super
These
cute.
are a practical thing that I will use because my fat butt can always use more sleep.
I
pants.
feel like I got you all practical stuff.
That's okay.
No, that's good.
Yeah, like Michael's. You should see Michael's wish list. It's ridiculous.
Does it have a pony on it?
No,
Oh, well then it's not ridiculous.
it's all like tools I've never heard of before and have no idea what they do,
Uh-huh.
and like random scientific beakers and like.
I accidentally bought a pack of pipettes. Do you need them for Michael?
Michael would probably use
Okay.
them.
I got them for Pearl's medicine, and then I used one, and that's all I needed.
Mm.
But Amazon had them in like a lot of 25.
I don't know what a pipette is.
Pipette, like for chemistry, it's like an eardropper.
Oh, okay. I'm sure Michael will use them.
I'm sure he will.
God knows what for. most
For
of the time.
acid or
Yeah.
something crazy.
It's funny because he's got a whole shelf in the kitchen that's like, don't even open any of these bottles because all of them will melt your face off. He like brews up, what's that one kind of acid that he brewed up a batch of? Hydrochloric acid. He like brewed it up. And I'm like, why did you do that? To see if I could. Okay, can you get rid of it now?
Let's go throw this in the pond out back.
Yeah. totally alter the ecology of this.
That's a terrible idea. So what's he gonna use that for? I don't know. Yeah.
Breaking down metals or something? I have no idea.
I have pipettes.
You do. I'm sure you'll find a use for them.
Here, Michael, I got you these 25 minus 1 pipettes.
Goodness knows I'll never get to use my garage for what a garage is actually for. A car.
No. Well, no.
Double wide garage. No space for a car.
Lots of space for tools, though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it for this week. We will be back either the 3rd or the 4th of December. That's just a week away.
Yeah.
So you guys have a lovely week, and we'll talk to you then.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.